Hello everybody. Hope you're able to hear me okay. I'm still just like getting scenes set up and stuff. But I figured I would fire up the stream so that y'all don't have to wait for too terribly long. Let's make sure that my camera's here. Yeah, I hear Kiska in the background, which I'm sure y'all do as well. So we'll bring that down. Yeah, I'll bring this over here. Which now y'all can, oh no, probably not. Okay, good. Listen to her. Listen to that little sad meows. Yeah, there we go. So now we can watch tutorial videos together. Good. Listen, look. Here she is. Kiska. I already fed you. I fed you lots. You've got lots of dry food in your bowl too. Aww. She's happy to see you all. Meow. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that face. Oh my gosh, so cute. So cute. Y'all get to hear my baby talk. Baby talk from my baby kitty. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, is there a game development category? I'm Runiel. Okay, so I think that's pretty much done. We don't have to do that. I can do that. And that's going to capture that. Oh, how interesting. So I could just like, I could just bring that up. Nice. Well, okay. Well, let me just like bash my camera all over the screen. Okay. Take11, hello. This is not a game project I have been working on. It's just a game project that I am starting to work on. Oh man, wow, that is way not the right resolution. We can do that, move that over so y'all can see everything, and then we can do this, make that bigger so y'all see more of me. Ooh, nice. Okay, I think we're done editing the scene. Nice, I am Runiel. You're streaming under game development from time to time. Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. So this is Unity. Super cool. Yeah, you can take the right mouse button and look around. It's kind of first-person shootery once you've grabbed that. You can use WASD to move around. If you hold the Shift key, you go really fast. Whew. Wow. Wow. Let's see. I would like to select that. You can hit F and center your view on any object you've selected in the scene. Okay. So, like, the task that I've set for myself is to make a UI that has two buttons, and when I click each of the buttons, something different happens in game. A serious challenge we have ahead of us. Trapdoor Spider wants to run his or her fingers through the beard. It's so nice. It's a little bit damp. I just had a shower. So, let's see. I know like practically nothing about Unity at the moment. I've done a very little bit with it. I did a little bit of stuff in C# a while back. I had a project. I wonder if I could open a project. Open other. Procgen Roads, Brick Game. Is that it? Assets. Oh, maybe I deleted everything because I installed. Yeah, no, it's all gone. Okay. Never mind. I was going to show you guys like some cool other stuff that I had done in the past, but it's all gone. All right, so yeah, let's find out how to do this. So like, there's going to be a lot of watching tutorials in this stream. I hope you guys don't mind. And like, I'll probably have crazy questions, and maybe some of y'all in chat will be able to help me out, and maybe some of y'all will be learning along with me, and this will all be a very fun and interesting thing for us. So yeah, like, let's get started. I'll just like full screen that so we can see what's going on.
The canvas is a component that controls how a group of UI elements will be rendered.
Good.
All UI elements must be children of a canvas. It is possible to have more than one canvas in a scene, but to use a UI element, there needs to be at least one available canvas. If a new UI element is created and no canvas exists, a new canvas will be created, and the new UI element will be attached to that canvas as a child.
Okay, let's give that a try. So, where's my hierarchy over here? UI button. Interesting. So, why am I seeing that? That's very strange. That's top, that's Z, that's X. Oops, no, it's gonna be Z. And we'll do that, and then we'll just zoom out. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, so that's back that way. Let's do that. Let's just do 180 degrees. So what I've done here, in case you were not aware, you can use this little gizmo in the upper right hand corner to set your view. Clicking the Y button, you're looking down from the Y axis. Clicking the X button, you're looking from the side. From the X axis, the Z button is the Z axis. And you can click this little thing right here where it says front and it's got like 3 lines together and 3 lines parallel. And that changes it so that like it's perspective versus flat. Non-perspective. So let me see. Oops, that's not what I want to do. So if you hold the middle mouse button, you can click and drag around. So, well, let's drag this button up over here. So like, it's called button. Let's call it button 1. It doesn't change its name. Interestingly, target graphic. I guess I can actually change that. It's got text under it. So I can be like, click me. And then it updates that with text. Very cool. We should change the main camera. How do I get the main camera to my current location? I think it's Control-Shift-F. Oh, look at that! It's so good! Okay, good. So yeah, that's that, and it's where? Who knows where? Zooming out, trying to find where my... There it is. I'll do that. Now, ostensibly, it seems like that camera should be looking at that UI canvas. Perspective versus orthogonal, says I'm real. What? All of a sudden my WASD keys are no longer working. That's very strange. Huh! This shows you how used to using Unity I am. Did I do something? I don't know. I'm very confused about that. You can use Q to get to this little hand icon, which I think lets you drag the screen around. Yep. You can use W to get to this, which is the transform gizmo. You can change the location along all of the axes. Apparently I can't change those axes. How strange. Curious. You can use E to go to rotation, which apparently I can't edit for the canvas itself at least. But I can probably do this. Oh yeah, cool. This is scaling, and that's on the R button. And T, I don't actually know what that is. Cool. Huthor, I'm learning Unity because I want to be able to use it for some personal projects. There's no specific reason beyond that. So, yeah, like I don't understand why I'm no longer able to move around. That's a little bit strange to me. Now I am, but only very, very slowly. I think I changed my camera's movement speed by clicking the scroll button. There we go. That's much better. Okay, now I... What? Something about the rate of the camera movement here. Oh, of course, because it starts out super slow. Okay. Inside scoop on a new project? No, unfortunately not. Yeah, it starts off super slow because it's like helping you do minute adjustments. Okay, so where is the main camera? The main camera is here. And it's looking at that, but it doesn't see there. Interesting. If I click play, yeah, okay, there's the click me button, but it's backwards. T-Sky, come here. I have tried using Unreal Engine 4, but for this project I'll be using Unity. So while I'm in play mode, which I've entered by clicking the little play button, I can actually edit stuff in the scene. But it doesn't look like I can edit that button. Strange. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's backwards. But now we have a button on a canvas. That's good. That's the first step. All right. So let's see. Let's keep watching.
Each canvas has a number of different possible render modes. The render mode can be set by using, but to use a UI element.
I'm curious about this. Main camera, environment, point and direction light, sphere, plane, capsule. Let's make a little environment at least, so that we have something to look at. So let's see. Create empty. That's how we can create objects. I don't want it child to the main camera. I'll call it environment. Cool. So like, you know, if you have your hierarchy open, you can just click right click and then you can create all sorts of stuff. An empty game object is what you can use as folders in Unity. So this is the environment folder. I'm just going to move it to 000 with no rotation. Okay, sure. And now I'll create a plane that's childed to it. There is something strange with my scene camera. I'm not sure what's going on with it at the moment. Okay. Yes, good. So you can change the scaling on that object with the scale attributes down here. Let's do, yeah, that looks a little more like decent. Default material, I wonder if there's a way to change the color on that without necessarily creating a texture. Could add a component, material. Oops, I can't. Interesting. Ah, of course. Yes. So what I could do is I could create a material in assets. Create material. Good. And I'm going to call this ground material. And then I can change all sorts of stuff about it. Like, does that let me? Yeah. So I could make it be green. I'm gonna make it be a dark green. And then I can go back to my plane, and instead of default material here in elements, I'm going to drag my ground material in. And then we have a dark green plane. And actually now, when I go back here, I can edit this and you'll see it update dynamically. So it'll be on like dark green. Okay, cool. Lovely. Metallic. Let's go like, yeah, metal. Green metal. I like playing with stuff like this. It's fun. Okay, I am well and truly frustrated with the speed of my camera in the scene. So we're gonna go right here, tab, Unity camera scene speed. How do I change the editor camera speed? Zooming is relative to the object you're working with, so hitting F to focus is correct. Hold down the right button and get WASD. All covered in docs. See the scene view navigation section. Let's take a look at that. Creating scenes, publishing builds, navigation and pathfinding. This is interesting though. Hey, check that out. It's all like written out. That's pretty slick. But building scenes using the scene view. Let's take a look at that. Scene view navigation, arrow keys. Move around the scene as though walking through it. Let's take a look at that. It's super slow, and it slowly moves forwards faster and faster. Okay, and I can hold shift in order to go faster than that. Good to know. Yep, arrow keys. Check. Focusing, I can focus. Yep. Move, orbit, and zoom. With the hand tool is selected. Click, drag to drag the camera around. Hold Alt and click, drag to orbit the camera. Okay, so I'm going to click that. Alt. I don't really appear to be orbiting. There we go. Now I am. Vaguely. Yeah. Good. Love it. And then zoom. Hold Alt and right-click drag. Makes sense. I can like loop all around the screen to zoom as much as I want. Boop, boop, boop. Very cool. Shortcuts using the hand tool. Yep. Fly-through mode. Fly-through mode lets you navigate the scene view by flying around in first person, similar to how you would navigate in many games. Click and hold the right mouse button. You move around using the mouse, WASD, and the Q and E's, holding down Shift. Fly-through is designed for perspective mode. In isometric mode, holding down the right mouse button and moving the mouse will orbit the camera instead. In 2D mode, fly-through mode is not available. Okay, that all makes sense, but I have no ability to manipulate the speed of things. Scene view navigation, nope. Scene view control bar. Gizmos menu. Search box. Cameras. Well, looks like we're just gonna have to suffer. It's like molasses. Okay, where's that camera? It's right there. Let's do this. And then, no. Camera. Not sure why the camera is not seeing that. Interesting. All right, let's go back to the UI section here and see what that has to say. Okay. The UI system lets you create user interfaces fast and intuitively. This is an introduction to the major features of Unity's new UI system. Cool. The Canvas is the area that all UI elements should be inside. The canvas is a game object with a canvas component on it, and all UI elements must be children of such a canvas. Creating a new UI element, such as an image, using the menu game object UI image, automatically creates a canvas, yes. Draw order, UI elements in the canvas are drawn in the same order they appear in the hierarchy. That makes sense. Render modes. The canvas has a render mode setting, which can be used to make it render in screen space or world space. Screen space overlay. This render mode places UI elements on the screen rendered on top of the scene. If the screen is resized or changes resolutions, the canvas will automatically change size to match this. Maybe that's what I have to look into here. So canvas, it's a screen space overlay. Screen space camera, render camera, maybe this will help. Oh yeah, look at that. And now I have the UI button in the camera. And if I click play, haha, victory is ours, chat. Well done. We'll rename that. Main camera. I like how I deleted a camera and then made a new one. I don't want that. It's not a part of the environment. It's not a part of the canvas event system. I don't know what the event system is yet. That's okay. Good. So now we have a UI. We have a UI that's showing up on camera. Cool. Whoa, it's attached to the camera. Nice. I can just be like, let's... Does this have positions? Position... Okay, we'll just go 0, 0. And then it's in the very center of the screen. 100? How wide is that? 1,000? Nope, it's not 1,000. Is it 500? Maybe. Look at that. You can have anchors. That seems very interesting. Anchors. Nice. Okay, let's put it in the middle. In fact, I want to do this at position x equals 300. And then I will create another button, UI button, and this is button 2, and it will be, oh, Kiska, it's so sad. Someone fed you, but for some reason you still want to yell at him. Come here, Keeks. Come here. Kiska. She'll come up here eventually. So this will be minus 300. Yes. Now we have 2 buttons. This one's text will be... okay, chat. So we have 2 buttons, and one of them is going to do something, and one of them is going to do another thing. What should they do? Let's make them like add and subtract from a score. It's just, we're just going to be super ridiculously simple here. So I'm going to call this button 1 text. And then it will be add to score. Booyah. Button 2 text. And this will be subtract from score. So make one delete the other button. Aragorn. Did I add to subtract lowercase f? Okay, cool. So main camera sees these 2 buttons. I can click play. Ah, look at that. But one of them is backwards. Why? How strange. So I was actually thinking it would be really fun to make a cookie clicker where it's like, okay, yeah. We're just going to click all of these as they show up. Just click, 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 click. Make them increase and decrease camera speed. I like that. Eplesh, I also think we could get really good indie development out of some of the guys in chat. I'm not going to Hello World. Hello World is... it's too basic. All right, why are you... Because you're rotated 180. That's why. Easy. Main camera. Play. Wow, so I can subtract from score, I can add to score. Look at that, so good. But I want add to be on the left and subtract to be on the right. So hang on. Button add, button underscore add to score. Camel case. Button 2 is button underscore, oh god, btn underscore subtract from the score. Yeah, naming conventions is a thing that you actually have to start thinking about so that you can keep track of everything. Okay, cool. Change the color of the ground, vacant psalm. That's an interesting idea. Rooster Castile, if you make a cookie clicker for 40K. That would be fun. Xenos Killer. Okay. Oh, of course, because when you edit and you're in play mode, your edits are not saved, so add to score. And then btn subtract from score. Good. Button 1 text, add to score. Button 2 text, subtract from score. Okay. I think at this point we may have to watch more tutorial videos in order to understand what happens. But I feel like I should be able to create some kind of score. UI. Text. Text is good. Text seems like it might be the sort of thing that we want. Text. New text. Score. And we'll do position Y be 300. Is that right? Does that make sense if I hit play? Score, there it is up there. And I want it centered. And like, what can we do? Wrap, truncate, color, material. It's strange that it doesn't have a little bounding box like the buttons. I wonder if I can create a little bounding box for it. Let's see about that. UI, panel. Ooh. That's interesting. Like, yes. It's very large. It's scaled 1:1:1, and therefore it is, and therefore it's the same size as the canvas. Of course. So, panel. And then we'll do this. Stretch. Rotation pivot. I'm not entirely certain how these are working, but I can move that up. I can do this. Yeah, and then I can do this panel. Yes, so we want the text to show up in front of the panel. Okay, play. That doesn't look quite right. What if I do that? Play. Right. My camera is somehow not an orthogonal camera. Projection, orthographic. Play. Nice! Panel, I want to move you back. Oh, look, somehow magically I'm able to move around quickly again. That's so weird. Okay, strange. The panel is sort of overwriting the text. All right, let's not mess around with panels just yet. Font size, let's go for like 24, so it's a little bit bigger. Line spacing, rich text. Wrap, truncate, color. You know what? We should put this in the background. So I'm just going to move this over, and then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Oops. Minus 90. Okay. And now we hit play. Why doesn't it show up? That's very strange. Is it way out of view? It is way out of view. Okay, good. So, we'll do this, we'll do that. Now play. It's still not showing up. That's very strange. I have no idea why that is. Let me do that. Yeah, like it really seems like that should be showing up. Yeah. Oops. Look, it's right there. Main camera doesn't see it though. Mesh renderer. I don't know. It's a mystery. Make a sphere of annihilation. Depth perception in 3D viewports. Yay! Yep, absolutely. What? What is going on? What is going on? Okay, I think this might be the problem. The problem might be that... Man, it's so weird. The problem might be that my plane is actually like behind the camera. So main camera, wait a minute, is this where it's located from and it's looking that way? No, nope, nope, nope. I'm entirely and thoroughly confused. I don't even know what's happening right now. The world is a strange and confusing place to me at the moment. Delete the plane. Goodbye, plane. Nobody likes you. Okay, so text. We've got to find a color that'll work well. So play. Score is 24. Like, what if it's like 36? It's off the screen. I could do 200 and then 36. Huh. 28, 24, 20, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's very strange. Why would it do that? Who knows, man? Who knows? But fortunately, none of that gets saved. Okay, cool. So we've got score right here. And then I think this is going to be like txt underscore score. And then I think I could do something where like I can make text. This will be like text underscore score var. So this is the score variable. I want it to be at like 250. 250. Whoa, that's way too high. 2250 is not where I want it. Okay, that's good. I could do that. I want it centered. It's going to be smaller. And the text itself, I wonder if there's a way to set that. There's got to be a way to set that. UI. Image text input field. Interactable. That's interesting. Remove. Okay, I'm going to do this. Score will go here. Okay, so yes, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little tiny mini game where you can click these buttons to either add to the score or subtract from the score. And then the score will be here. And that'll be the easiest and simplest possible game that we could make with Unity UI. Incidentally, thank you to everybody who's hanging out in chat. It's awesome to see you all. I'm Runiel, Huthor, Eplesh, Saminemi, Dragonfire 973. I'm glad to see that people came out to watch me putz around in Unity and be completely confused. I don't even have any like music on or anything. All right, so event system script. Oh, mono develop. So this is the editing software used for creating scripts and code in Unity3d. Let's see. Oops, I lost chat. Come back, chat. There we go, much better. Kiska! So there's an event system. Is that select monoscript? So I could write a monoscript. Now that seems like the sort of thing where I'd start getting into C#, and that would be scary. Look, let's all look at Kiska and wonder why she's meowing her head off. Oh yeah, why? What do you want? Yeah, you want some scrubs? Oh, she wants scrubs. Oh yes. Now you're quiet. Is that what you wanted? I already fed you. You got goop in your eye. Come back. Alright, good. Now your eye is goop free. I wiped your goop on your back. Now I wiped it on the chair. Great. Kitty, eye goop. Okay, cool. Touch input module is a script. Standalone input module is a script. Event system. First selected. Game objects. Interesting. I don't know what that does, but I can probably clear that. None. There. Send navigation event, drag threshold. Okay, good. I think it's time to keep watching tutorials because I have no idea where to go from here. So, let's get that started. Vacant Psalm is asking me to put her in my lap and make the awesome score up-down game. Let her help make the awesome score up-down game. She does not let me pick her up. She does not sit in laps. I'm Runiel. I took some programming classes in college, and the work that I did for Funcom on The Secret World was not programming strictly, but it was visual programming, and sort of a very high-level programming, scripting, creating bosses for The Secret World. So I'm very familiar with like programming style logic. But I am not a programmer. IANAP. Okay. Yep. It's tutorial time. So screen space, camera. That's what we've chosen. UI elements are rendered by this camera, which means the camera settings affect the appearance of the UI. If the camera is set to perspective, the UI elements will be rendered with perspective, and the amount of perspective distortion can be controlled by the camera field of view. Ooh. World space. In this render mode, the canvas will behave as any other object in the scene. The size of the canvas can be set manually using its rect transform here. And UI elements will render in front of or behind other objects in the scene based on 3D placement. This is useful for UIs that are meant to be a part of the world. This is also known as a diegetic interface. Fuck yeah! Diegetic is a really fun word. Diegetic means that the thing which is being described as diegetic is arising from the scene that it's in. So you have music in movies, and sometimes when, like, you know, James Bond is running through through a construction site or something like that, there's like some pumping bass behind him. He's like whatever. That's non-diegetic because you're hearing music, but James Bond isn't hearing music. But sometimes he's at a fancy ball and he's got like a mask on and he's like flirting with some hot lady, and the music is like do 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 do, or whatever, because there's a band playing in the background. James Bond is hearing the music, and so is the audience, and that music is diegetic. Sonata. I'm not familiar with the Shadow of Depravity in TSW. That may have been added post my involvement with the game. Okay, now that we've heard me make up music on the spot. Basic layout. In this section, We'll look at how you can position UI elements relative to the canvas and to each other. I feel like we've already figured that out. The rect tool. Every UI element is represented as a rectangle for layout purposes. This rectangle can be manipulated in the scene view using the rect tool in the toolbar. Hey, look at that. Okay. That's the new thing. The rect tool is used for both Unity's 2D features and for UI, and in fact can even be used for 3D objects as well. We have a professional programmer in chat, and now I'm shy. Hello, Captain Aramis. Please don't feel terrible about my skills. Hey, Valenker. Okay. Move, resize, rotate UI elements. Once you have selected a UI element, you can move it by clicking anywhere inside the rectangle and dragging. Interesting. You can resize it by clicking on the edges or corners and dragging. The element can be rotated by hovering the cursor slightly away from the corners. Nice. Yes, the rect transform is a new transform component that is used for all UI elements instead of the regular transform component. Rect transforms have position, rotation, and scale, just like regular transforms, but it also has a width and a height used to specify the dimensions of the rectangle. Okay. Pivot, resizing versus scaling, anchors. Rect transforms include a layout concept called anchors. Anchors are shown as 4 small triangular handles in the scene view, and anchor information is also shown in the inspector. If the parent of a rect transform is also a rect transform, the child rect transform, so this button is a child rect transform underneath the parent rect transform, which is this canvas. So the child rect transform can be anchored to the parent rect transform in various ways. For example, the child can be anchored to the center of the parent or to one of the corners. UI element entered to the center, fixed offset to the center, offset to the corner. Yep. Interesting. So using this, you can make UIs that adapt to various screen resolutions natively. Whoa, this looks fancy. The positions of the anchors are defined in fractions or percentages of the parent rectangle width and height. 0.0 corresponds to the bottom left side, 0.5 to the middle, and 1.0 to the top right. Anchors are not limited to the sides and middle. They can be anchored to any point within the parent rectangle. Interesting. So when it stretches sideways, what happens to the button? It stretches. Ha ha! That's really neat. Anchor presets. That looks complicated, and it's not what we're looking for at the moment, so let's read it. In the inspector, the anchor preset button can be found in the upper left corner of the blah. Clicking the button brings up the anchor presets dropdown. From here, you can quickly select from some of the most common anchoring options. You can anchor the UI element to the sides or middle of the parent, or stretch together with the parent size. Ah, the horizontal and vertical anchoring is independent. Interesting. Huh. Anchor and position fields. Yeah, so it's got anchors, it's got positions, rotation, scale, pause X, Y, and Z. Okay. Good. Visual components. With the introduction of the UI system, new components have been added that will help you create GUI-specific functionality. This section will cover the basics of the new components that can be created. A text component, which is also known as a label, has a text area for entering the text that will be displayed. It is possible to set the font, font style, font size, and whether or not the text has rich text capability. There are options to set the alignment of the text, settings for horizontal and vertical overflow, which control what happens if the text is larger than the width or height of the rectangle, and a best fit option that makes the text resized to fit the available space. Fantastic. Image. An image has a rect transform component and an image component. A sprite can be applied to the image component under the target graphic field, and its color can be set in the color field. So, a sprite. I wonder, images can be imported as UI sprites by selecting sprite from the texture type settings. Sprites have extra import settings compared to the old GUI sprites. The biggest difference is the addition of the sprite editor. The sprite editor provides the option of 9-slicing the sprite. Huh. Interesting. Kiska's very sad back there. Well, like, now I'm curious. I want to, like, create an image. Let's do that. UI. Image. Pow. Good. Source image. Sprite. So I need to create a sprite. Create. So it's not there. Hey, come here. Come up here. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now be here and calm yourself. Okay, so how do we create a sprite component? Component? Sprite game object? 2D object. Sprite. New sprite. That is a part of the canvas. Interesting. Assets. I wonder how I can get a sprite there. Material. Sprite's default material. Layer sprite, not in sprite. So that's how to create a sprite game object. So that makes sense. But how do I create a sprite asset? GUI skin, legacy, cube map. Import new asset. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Pen and Paper, Dungeons and Dragons, West Marches, Characters, Images. I'm going to take Kellen Wildlight token, import it. Okay, so that's a thing. It's a texture. Good. Can I apply that to the sprite? New sprite. No, it's not a sprite thing. Material. I can create a new material. Let's try that. Material, Kellen, or Matt Kellen. And then I would like to apply. Shader. Sprites. Default. Select. Pixel snap. Can I apply that somewhere, somehow? Sprites. Diffuse. Unlit texture. And then I can select Kellen Wildlight as a texture. And that's a material. Okay, so now we've got a Kellen material. I'm rotating it down here under my camera. Let me see. Okay, so now I've got this sprite. Can I assign the Kellen material to it? At Kellen, shader, unlit texture. It's not actually doing anything though. Color. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, this is the part that's confusing me. I don't have a sprite asset, and I don't know how to create a sprite asset. Let's find out how to create a sprite asset. Unity. Search manual. Sprite asset. Nothing. Sprite. Sprite editor. Sprite renderer. Sprite packer. 2D textures. Properties. Sprite, 2D and UI. So, texture type sprite. Texture importer. Textures all come from image files in your project folder. How they are imported is specified by the texture importer. You change these by selecting the file texture in the project view and modifying the texture importer in the inspector. Topmost item is the texture type menu. Okay, so hang on. Import new asset. So how do I access the texture importer? That's the question here. Is it import package, custom package? No. All right, back to the tutorial here. the texture importer. The texture importer looks a bit different than others. Textures will bring your meshes, particles, and interfaces to life. They are images or movie files that you lay over or wrap around your objects. As they are so important, they have a lot of properties. The shaders you use for your objects put specific requirements on which textures you need, but the basic principle is that you can put any image file inside your project. If it meets the size requirements, it will get imported and optimized for game use. This extends to multi-layer Photoshop or TIFF files. They're flattened on import. Fantastic. The texture inspector looks a bit different from most others. Texture importer. Okay, that's all good, but like, how do you access the texture importer? This is very interesting. Texture type. Sprite. Sprite mode single. Picking tag, I have no idea what that is. Let's find out. Okay, that's good. So, picking tag, the name of an optional sprite atlas into which this texture should be packed. I know what some of those words mean. Pixels to units, the number of pixels of width, height in the sprite image that will correspond to one distance unit in world space. Interesting. The point in the image where the sprite's local coordinate system originates. Pivot, filter mode, point, bilinear, and trilinear. Okay, well, pivot is center, sprite editor. I could pull that up, and there we go. There we've got the Kellen Wildlight sprite. That's fantastic. I could change its pivot if I wanted to, but I don't. I could... What is this? This is a border. Interesting. Cool. Well, we'll stick with the center. Okay, I don't need to do that. I will apply. Filter mode bilinear. Sure, whatever. But I've got this sprite here. Can I choose the Kellen Wildlight sprite now? Yes. I can. Reset that. Interestingly, it has the Kellen Wildlight sprite, but it's not... Oh god, I am in play mode. That's terrifying. Okay, here's what I need to do. Edit. Preferences. Colors. Play mode tint. When I'm in play mode, I would like to be a nice shade of purple. Excellent. Now... Oh no. Oh, good. Excellent. Now I will never forget when I'm in play mode. Okay, but I've created a Kellen Wildlight sprite. Yes, 2D and UI. So it's there. That's good. Dealer Umbra is saying I should be able to just drag the picture onto the object. True, but I should also be able to set it in the area that I did. So, new sprite. So yeah, like I could click here, select that sprite, that should be fine. The object itself is not appearing in the scene at the moment. So let's do this. I'm just going to drag that there. Kellen Wildlight token. Now click play. It's not showing up. Oh, this saddens me. Materials, sprites default. This is Unity3d, which is a game creation program. You can get it for free. Just Google Unity3d. This is Unity 5. And I'm playing around with the UI because I want to make a little game where like clicking the button add to score increases the score, clicking the button subtract from score decreases the score, you know, very simple stuff. But I'm getting very distracted because there's like all sorts of fun stuff to be playing with, and I'm like, oh, let's try like, let me, yeah, it's good. It could be because the plane is looking in the other direction. It's true, but it's not rotated. So it should be in exactly the same orientation as the canvas. So let's see. I could try scaling it. Oh, maybe it is tiny. Hey, look at that! That's looking very promising. Let's see. Sprite Kellen. Hey, check it out! Okay, I'm gonna put that up, and I'll put score right below it because Kellen is yelling. He's like, score! How many I am a man's is it? Good. Good, we've learned something new, chat. That's excellent. Okay, so that'll go up there at the top. Score will come down here, right there. And this one will come down. Score will go here. And now when we click play, there's Kellen yelling about the score. We did it, boys! Good job! Okay, cool. I'm starting to feel a little bit accomplished. All right, so we still don't know how to get these buttons generating output that score will go here takes as input and dynamically updates. That is a point of obscurity at the moment. So we're looking at UI, looking at UI overview. We were looking at visual components, text, image, and now we know how to create an image. Raw image. The image component takes a sprite, but raw image takes a texture. Raw image should only be used if necessary. Otherwise, image will be suitable in the majority of cases. Mask. A mask is not a visible UI control, but rather a way to modify the appearance of a control's child elements. I don't entirely understand what that means. The mask restricts, i.e. masks, the child elements to the shape of the parent. So if the child is larger than the parent, then only the part of the child that fits within the parent will be visible. Interesting. Visual components can also have various simple effects applied, such as a simple drop shadow or outline. See the effects reference page for more information. Nah. Interaction components. This is good. I'm glad. Okay. This section covers components in the UI system that handles interactions, such as mouse or touch events, and interaction using a keyboard or a controller. The interaction components are not visible on their own and must be combined with one or more visual elements in order to work correctly. Really? Most of the interaction components have some things in common. They are selectables, which means that they have shared built-in functionality for visualizing transition between states, normal, highlighted, pressed, disabled, and for navigation to other selectables using keyboard or controller. This shared functionality is described on the selectable page. Interesting. That's a stretch goal. Button. The button has an on-click Unity event to define what it will do when clicked. See the button page for details on using the button component. We will definitely do that momentarily. Yeah, Dealer Ember, I'm actually this is actually going to be a GUI basic GUI, a visual basic GUI for tracking criminals. I'm just going to hack it together really quick in an afternoon. Toggle. A toggle has an is on checkbox that determines whether the toggle is currently on or off. The value is flipped when the user clicks the toggle, and a visual checkmark can be turned on or off accordingly. It also has an on value changed Unity event to define what it will do when the value is changed. See the toggle page for details on using the toggle component. No thanks. Toggle group. A toggle group can be used to group a set of toggles that are mutually exclusive. Toggles that belong to the same group are constrained so that only one of them can be selected at a time. Interesting. The slider has a decimal number value that the user can drag between a minimum and a maximum value. It can be either horizontal or vertical. It also has an on value changed Unity event. Scroll bar. Yep. input field. An input field is used to make the text of a text element editable by the user. It has a Unity event to define what it will do when the text content is changed, and another to define what it will do when the user has finished editing it. Okay. Animation integration. Ooh. That sounds interesting. Okay, so a button. The button control responds to a click from the user and is used to initiate or confirm an action. Familiar examples include the submit and cancel buttons used on web forms. Oh, Randy1083, I have already transferred the West Marches character over to the Roll20 sheets. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, that's a good point. I should have streamed that. That would have been interesting for people. Maybe for a future show with new characters, I could like create the character on the stream and create it in a Roll20 character sheet. Properties. Interactable. Will this component accept input? Transition. Properties that determine the way the control responds visually to user actions. Navigation. Properties that determine the sequence of controls. Ooh, interesting. Events on click is a Unity event that is invoked when a user clicks the button and releases it. Details. The button is designed to initiate an action when the user clicks it and releases it. If the mouse is moved off the button control before the click is released, the action does not take place. Makes sense. The button has a single event called onClick that responds when the user completes a click. Typical use cases include confirming a decision, e.g. starting gameplay or saving a game, moving to a submenu in a GUI, yep, canceling an action in progress. Interesting. Okay. That's in the UI reference. Okay, animation integration. That's what we were going to look at next. This seems interesting. Allows for each transition between control states to be fully animated using Unity's animation system. This is the most powerful of the transition modes due to the number of properties that can be animated simultaneously. To use the animation transition mode, an animator component needs to be attached to the controller element. This can be done automatically by clicking Auto-Generate Animation. That seems interesting, but also stretch goal. Auto layout. That looks complicated. Let's pass that. UI how-tos. In this section, you can learn about solutions to common UI tasks. Designing UI for multiple resolutions. Well, that seems like a use of, yeah, anchors. Scaling with screen size. Oh no. I'm getting sleepy. Making UI elements fit the size of their content. Creating a world space UI. Creating UI elements from scripting. If you are creating a dynamic UI where UI elements appear, disappear, or change based on user actions or any other actions in game, you may need to make a script that instantiates new UI elements based on custom logic. Creating a prefab of the UI element. In order to be able to easily instantiate UI elements dynamically, the first step is to create a prefab for the type of UI element that you want to be able to instantiate. So if I wanted to, like, you click a button and a new button appears, and then you click that button and another new button appears, I'd create a button prefab. And then I could write some scripts that are like, each time button is clicked, instantiate new button. Positioning, customizing, interesting. Creating screen transitions. Yeah. Animation controls. Okay. Nice. It's surprising to me that they don't show any examples of how to, like, write a simple script that makes a button do something. Crossed Staves just said, I'm afraid everyone is going to steal all my game ideas. I'm of the opinion that ideas are cheap and that implementation is hard. So you could give away every idea you ever have, and probably most of them wouldn't ever get made because everybody wants to make their own ideas. Everybody thinks their own ideas are better than ideas that they found from someone else online. And then also, like, someone else might make your idea, but they might be shit at it. So all you have to do is make it and be good at it. Problem solved. Ugh, there's a lot of peanut butter in that last gulp. Okay, this is really cool. Good. Let's take like a 5-minute break. And I'm just going to start like a little timer, just like a countdown. I'll sit here, I'll chat with y'all. I might get up and like get a glass of water or something, but like we're just going to like rest our brains for a second. And then we'll get started on trying to write a simple script. Scripting API. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look. Oh, here it is. Here's information. Oh my god. Is button a class? Button is a class. Oh no, look. Look at that. This also, oh my god. Cool. All right. Good. I'm gonna do this. Now you guys can see my desktop. Oh no, you can't. Interesting. Add text. Yep. I'm gonna use text from file. Could not open that file because it's not there. Snaz, countdown timer. This stream will go up on YouTube, yes. Airfire is offering to give me help with scripting. He'll be around, he or she will be around for the next couple hours to provide help. I won't be around for the next couple hours because I worked out hard today and I'm super pooped. Super poopered, but thank you very much for the offer. It's possible that I will take you up at a future point, or that we will get to something interesting enough today that that it will be worth receiving help from you. I have the hiccups. It's the worst. Okay, I'm going to start that. Oh my god. Let's see, text. Properties. Font size. Team? Yeah, there we go. Cool. Here's our countdown timer for returning to playing with Unity. Good. Okay, I will be right back. I'm just gonna like, you know, take a quick bathroom break, get a glass of water, and then we'll come back. We'll look at scripting up some quick behaviors for these buttons, and hopefully we can figure out how to output text into a text component, text UI component. Excellent. Be right back.